Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lisa and I make vlogs kind of like whenever I feel like being creative and get inspired to do so. Today I wanted to kind of like reflect and share with you some unusual things that you could do to make money that I have happened to have done in the past. And yeah, I thought up of 9 that are from my past that I figured I would share. And I wanted to share because it's been a little while since I made a vlog, and honestly, a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm struggling in 2020 with everything that's going on financially and job-wise. So I needed a pick-me-up for myself of like, how can I get creative of like, just getting through this like weird, crazy year and continuing, striving and thriving. And I thought maybe there's other people that are feeling the same way. I hear there's a lot of, people who are even in worse situations than I am right now. And I just want to put out there what I can so that we can all get creative in this very unusual time. So without further ado, here are 9 unusual things that I've done to either make money. I think I did all make money. There's also been things I've done to trade. I didn't even include them in this list. Okay, so I kind of like went back in time and I thought like, what are weird things that when I've needed money, like I've done to just, like make either some extra cash or honestly to just like help me like slide by, like, well, I don't remember the phrase, with the skin of my teeth, whatever. One thing I've done, I used to be a gymnast growing up and I was a competitive gymnast, so I had like a close connection with the gymnastics place that I went to as a child, and my mom still works at the place that I used to go to, and I've subbed random classes for her whenever she's been out. Like the owner knows that I have a background in gymnastics and she needed a sub, so I've done that before. So maybe there's something that you've done similar. Another thing I've done is decorated cakes. So I went through this, whoa, there's a cat. Went through this phase in life where I was obsessed with learning how to decorate cakes with like buttercream icing and fondant and all of the things, and I had the kit, which I ended up giving to my cousin. Hopefully they've ended up using it. And I just really enjoyed it, and I started making cakes like as often as I possibly could, just because I thought it was so cool that you could make a cake look and make it look like something that it wasn't. So I've had like coworkers, like I think I made like a wedding anniversary like cruise cake for somebody, and then I made like a ladybug cake for one of my other coworkers' daughter's birthdays. Again, I was not a professional in these things. They just happened to be things I was doing, and they noticed that I was doing them, and they were like, hey, I'll pay you to do this. So there's another thing. This next one, it's still unusual, I think, but then it ended up actually being part of my career path in life, like once upon a time. So one time, I don't remember what my normal job was, but I was looking for extra cash, and one time I hosted a essentially bring your own pole bachelorette party. And what I mean by that is I was in the middle of taking pole dancing fitness classes at a local studio, and I really wanted to get into teaching, which if you know me, like that ends up being part of my career journey, but I had not been teaching yet. And the studio owner happened to do bachelorette parties. That's pretty normal for a pole studio, and she couldn't make it to one time, and so I think she wasn't available for one, and she was working with a event planner who planned like girls parties, like women's parties, and they wanted to do a pole like bachelorette party. So they hired me out, and I had just bought this like very used, not very reliable pole from another student like in my class. And I was like, oh great, I have a pole that has like, it had a little case and wheels, which is very unusual. None of the other ones I've ever had that, but it was perfect because I was able to drag it in to this random home that I did not know these people at all. I was just going off of the reputation of the event planner. And I will say I was slightly freaked out because whenever I got to there, there was a man who answered the door with just like black pants on, no shirt, a bow tie, and eyeliner. And I was like, I'm here for the bachelorette party. And he's like, right this way. So later on I asked, like, why are you here? Like, it was all women, kind of like a standard stereotypical bachelorette party. And he said that they had hired him for the night as their butler, which, there you go, there's another really unusual way to make some cash. He was silent. He only did what they asked him to do, and it was lit. It was a lot of fun. I really was nervous at the beginning, and then by the end I was just laughing and having a great time. So that's probably why it led me onto a deeper path in that journey, but that's not what we're talking about today. I've also went through a phase where I had like a bunch of family members who were working on their homes, and I have painted so many homes, like inside, outside, under. Like, I've painted outdoor walls, I've painted outdoor doors, I've painted indoor walls, I've Windexed windows, like while painting. Like, I've done a lot of that for family members because sometimes they're either like too busy, or like I helped a lot of my elderly family members who were like, I'll pay you to do this, like I need it done. And that was another thing that helped me kind of float by for a little while. What else did I do? Oh, in the same time frame, I also organized like everything. I have organized pantries. Who knows how organized the pantry stayed after I left. I try to make systems because I don't know if I'm OCD, who knows, but I am super organized with everything in life, and apparently people know that. So I've been paid to organize a pantry and come up with a system for like a very, very like crowded home of like family members, and that was fun. I was like, your pasta sauces go here and your cereals go here. I've also organized tool sheds. Oh my gosh, I went through one time where I think it was almost a whole summer that I was helping organize a tool shed for an elderly couple that had just accumulated so many tools over the years. There was like, it was everywhere, and it needed to like downsize. And a lot of times in order to start downsizing, you have to know like, well, how many drills do I own so that I know how many I can get rid of? Like, that seems like an unusual problem to have, but I've seen it in play. And I've even organized just like homes. Like, I've helped organize some hoarded homes. That's it hits a little bit close to home for me, but I've done that. What else? Okay, one time someone paid me to teach a group of girls how to make like crystal bracelets, not like these kind, but like the kind that kind of have like a weaving pattern. I didn't even know how to do that, but I guess I'm just like a good self-learner, so I learned how to do it, and then I taught them, and then we did a cord cutting ceremony for like a very like emotional time. That was like fun / serious / very like fulfilling in my heart, and that was really important to me, and I love doing stuff like that. Another unusual thing I've done, which is probably like, if I had to rank them out of like coolest unusual things I've done in my past, when I lived on my sailboat, I got connected from one of my dock neighbors with a man who delivers new catamarans. And at the time, it was like the perfect setup for me because I was like in between work. I was really wanting to make some money, but I just wasn't in a good place for having a steady like job. I was taking a mental hiatus, and he hired me on to do a delivery, which is what a delivery is this new catamaran was made in France, and it was shipped from France to the United States and dropped off in a port in Florida, northern Florida. We came and watched the boat get splashed, which means that it gets taken off of this big freight liner like ship and dropped into the water for the first time in the US. And then we got it from there and we sailed. Well, we didn't get to sail. We motored it down the coast to the harbor that the family who bought the boat was living in or staying nearby, that it was going to be staying at forever. So that was amazing. I felt so cool doing that, and that was surreal feeling, because I was like, oh my gosh, I've only been learning how to sail for like, I don't know, it was like 6 months to a year at that time, but I was pretty obsessed with it. I was living on the dock and I went out all the time, as many times as I could, to go sailing. And he saw that I at least had the experience needed to get it down the coast. It's way easy whenever you get offshore. There's not a lot in the way. You just got to make sure that there's no random boats coming your way that didn't see you. That was fun, and yeah, paid pretty well. Another unusual thing I've done, this is probably not unusual as far as there's a lot of housekeeping jobs out there. However, one time I ended up becoming a property manager, an Airbnb property manager / housekeeper for an Airbnb that I stayed at. So essentially I stayed in an Airbnb when I was living on my boat because I needed to get back to land for a little bit. I just needed to stay still for a moment. And I loved the place. It was very cute. And the man had given me a bit of a discount because I told him hey, nobody's booked it this weekend. What can we make happen? Because I really just need to get on land for a bit. And then, I don't know, it was a month or two later, I guess I had mentioned, I don't know what I had mentioned that had anything to do with this. I guess it had to do with some unusual work that I had done in the past. The guy reached out to me and was like, are you still looking for random income? Because I need somebody to help me run my Airbnb. And so I did that for 6 months. That's a very unusual thing for me. And then the last one I could think of for this vlog is one time I took engagement photos. I'm not a professional photographer. I'm honestly still learning. My boyfriend is much better at doing photography than I am. But yeah, I did those, and they're for my brother and sister-in-law. So I feel a lot of these, the one common thread that I am noticing is a lot of times family can help. If you're looking for ways to make money and you're not sure what to do, maybe you're in a rut and you're just wanting to take time to know what's next in your path, but obviously you probably have bills to pay. You need to eat. There's things that are not going to stop just because you need a break. These can be unusual, but also very fulfilling ways to help others that help you. And I feel the biggest takeaway that I've had from these experiences is that when you offer people help, there's so many people need help, not just monetarily. Maybe you need help monetarily, but maybe other people need help in time or manpower, labor power, whatever, muscle power. Yeah, so offer help, see what happens. And if you're looking for ways to make money, just start getting creative. Think about things that you might be good at that maybe aren't searchable on a job board. That's really why I wanted to share this, because lately I've been looking on job boards and thinking okay, what do I need to do next? What's the best route for me? You think such long term, where's my career going? If you've been working for a little while, am I is it too late for me to switch jobs, career paths, industries? It can become very trapped feeling, and maybe you feel you don't have a choice. Maybe you feel you have to do the same thing the rest of your life because that's just what you've been doing. And maybe you're wanting to change, but you're just not even sure. maybe try some unusual things to show you like you don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Like you can change. And these things have helped me like believe that story. Like by doing these things, I was like, that's weird. I just got paid to do this where I thought I was like gonna have to do this work for the rest of my life. And then very often after that, I have switched industries, I've switched job titles, I've switched states. Now, like there's always room for a new path to start if you are needing a new path, or if you are needing to continue a path and it's just not working out right now, and you know what you need and you don't want to sell yourself short, then do some unusual stuff in the interim. Like who cares, as long as it's keeping like money like in your bank to pay your bills, right? And like as long as you can be fed and sheltered, that's what matters the most. I hope that this video is either inspiring, entertaining, I don't know, like I'm curious what your maybe top one unusual thing that you've done to either make money or things that you've like traded for services. Maybe I'll make that video later on. Let me know your unusual work that you've done in the comments below. And if you like this type of video where I just kind of share like ideas of what I'm working on in my own personal life, then give it a thumbs up. If you know anyone else who is maybe affected by this pandemic and maybe like looking for ways to get some cash like quickly to just stay afloat, then share this video with them. Who knows, maybe they are amazing at organization and they happen to know somebody down the street who is not good at organization, and maybe this will remind them like, oh, I can offer that for the time being. All right, I will see you the next time that I come up with a video idea to share with you. If you want to continue seeing them, I do suggest subscribing and hitting the bell icon, because I'm just not very consistent with my videos, because I don't want to just put junk out to you. I want to put things out here into the very vast world of YouTube that are actually meaningful. So if you hit the bell, then it'll notify you whenever I do come up with another video to share with you. All right.